Hey, so I wanted to make a video on SoD when you're max level. What is it you're doing? And is it all of what people kind of say it is or the potential of what it is? Because I'm just going to lay out this video so that way you don't have to do some stupid shit to grind for it. So I'm going to use my mage as a benchmark. So I grinded pretty hard on my mage. It was my first character that I made, and it is the most dead weight character that I've made. And what I mean by that is that they pump in dungeons and they really make a lot of gold as far as AoE farming or selling a boost if you want to. But for phase one, this is just my opinion. WoW is all about the raids, and I'm not like a ultra, sweaty person. Like I gotta have my raid be under 40 minutes, or if I have no gamers in my group, all y'all shit. Like, I act like butter can't melt in my mouth. I'm not like that. I don't care if people need to learn. I do want to clear the raid. But my point that I'm making is that you cannot invite for BFD like 3 mages. I did it the other day on my rogue, though. Now, I'm going to explain why it worked. So, my rogue was in Dead Mines and like Wailing Caverns gear, and I farmed Van Cleef like 4 or 5 kills for really great loot. My warrior here does 110 DPS on a good day. This is before I got the epic sword, and my rogue is doing like 120 to 130 when I pop off, which is like blue gear, not like BFD gear, just like nice gear. So the disparity is you've got mages that if the boss fight's like longer than 30-40 seconds, the mage starts to fizzle out. They were doing really good damage, and then all of a sudden they just fall off a cliff. And the reason why is because at this low level, your mana is not going to be able to sustain. And the abilities that mages have for the raid is really bad, in my opinion. It is really bad. You've got Arcane Blast, and you can fucking heal the raid sometimes. And a mage is not meant to be the heal. Like, you're just supposed to supplement heals. You're not meant to actually carry and replace a druid and priest. You can for an AoE pull, though. So like for Nomergen, if you trip the alarm bot, I'm just giving optics here, like a what if they make Nomergen as mob dense as it is, or even SM as mob dense as it is, and you really want to go faster, then the mage is the key. The mage, you just put the living flame on the target, and then the tank steps into it, and it heals like a metric infinite amount of times. It's just a metric fuck ton of healing. But on the other hand, like if there is no AoE, then the mage is not really like I still can't even imagine in Nomergen and SM that mages are going to do a lot of damage. Yes, there is going to be more arcane viability, and fire could be an option too. But frost is going to save you more mana. So I'm just being real. Like if you're going to want to consistently not be wanding, then you should be frost, which is not really good because warrior, shaman, hunter, rogue, druid, they're all the top DPS. You could go look at anyone else. I don't need to share a log on my screen because what I'm saying is pretty much how it's going. You need to invite physical DPS to the raid in order to complete it. I would say that, like, there was that one exception with my rogue the other day where, yes, I did complete the raid with those 3 mages, but when the fight was going on longer than it should have, it was really reflecting that because when the fight is going on for, let's say, 1 minute and 40 seconds, the mages have no mana. So that's griefing the raid. And some of the boss fights in Vanilla WoW, all the way through, Cataclysm or whatever, it's always been about, okay, so this certain kind of fight is a DPS check, and this certain fight is a healing check. But it always gets flipped on its head whenever you got people that are or just play like shit, because then everyone else has to pick up all the other pieces. So at the end of the day, my warrior got geared really quickly. I did 2 BFDs and I got to this point, and I'm noticing that if I were to get any more gear, I'd basically have nothing to do. So I'm not saying that I want to be like Gandhi and just go naked and just give all my shit away, or just, I'm ungrateful. I'm not. I like playing SOD. I think it's fun. I think that they need to add more shit to do though, because for my character, what I could be doing right now, which I'm not going to be doing, because right now, again, I'm bored. Like you see how long I'm just looking for this fucking guy. I could be PvPing, but it will take weeks and weeks, and I don't know how long to get revered with Warsong. It's a good idea to do PvP though, because I play on a server that if it were to fall off a cliff with the population, that there's going to be no other chance than now to do PvP, because if you don't get your reputation in and they go to the next phase and no one wants to do Warsong, you're fucked. So I think that this is going to be like a season, maybe like Fortnite or Warzone, maybe, but that I think that Blizzard should be a little more clear about it, because I'm not going to say I'm too attached to this character, but it would really suck if they don't come clean about what is it they're doing, because sometimes they resist to tell you the truth of what they're actually doing with their game. Like, are you going to be able to keep your character if I was able to complete getting a Thunder Fury, or like, is this going to be another TBC kind of situation where, yes, your character can move on, but you won't be able to go back unless you pay? Like, because I don't want to be doing shit like that. That's dumb. We don't understand if this is vanilla plus yet, or if this is just a seasonal thing like how I'm talking about. So that's kind of what's going on. You get gear, you log out, and you stare at your character, and there's not really too much going on other than maybe doing some random shit. Like, I could go to the stockades. If I can figure out a way to get into Stormwind without dying 10,000 times and get into the stockades, like, just do that for some sort of loot, I don't know, but it feels bad to say this at this moment, because in one breath I feel like it's too soon, but also in the other one it's like, why haven't we done something else yet? Because I'm just only speaking about people that are like my character, so to speak. You get all this gear, what do you do? So I'm only just being as real as I can be. So no sugarcoating. I think SOD is great. You meet people, you play with them, and getting them to experience the new runes or the new whatever's going on. But I think that we need some more new shit. And I think that Blizzard's trying. It's just that the only thing I can't, be too naive about is trusting them to actually go with their process and their judgment about some stuff, because they have done it in the past where they milk a phase for way too long. And maybe the only thing that I could say that would be the counterpoint of all I'm talking about now, this is the Littlefoot baby Brontosaurus raid, and the next one is going to be way harder. And if that's the case, then that will make things way more fun. So we just need some sort of like come clean about that, if you could, or at least do what old school RuneScape did, which was every couple of weeks they would do a podcast and explain what's going on in their, like, maybe a poll system. I don't know, but like, it just really feels bad that I leveled a mage, and I don't say this because I just want to be a mid-max person, but I put a lot of time in my mage, and he just doesn't do any damage. It just really, it feels rough. And then you go do the the best in slot or the meta thing, it just feels really sweaty. But that's what's working. That's the only way that you're going to be able to complete raids, because otherwise you can forget it. When I was doing the raids on my mage, trying to sit there and kill Kelris for like 4 or 5 attempts, and telling other people, like, I think my mage needs to sit. They have 3 mages in the group, then they have a warlock, DPS, and then they have a boomkin. It's just griefing the raid. It does not feel like, in that sense, that we're discovering a lot. It's like, no, we're just finding out that casters suck. So this isn't like, it's just something that we maybe need to get around of, either Blizzard is doing this or is it a player thing? Because I feel like it's a both kind of issue. Like Blizzard does not put in sometimes like the effort, to really get it dialed in sometimes with some characters. But then again, the only thing I could be saying that it might be just crazy and I'm just, bitching and bitching is that if we do buff the casters and we give them some sort of, ability to do more damage if they just work harder, that they get out of control, then I completely understand, because the casters, when has that never been the case? It's always happened. They do something where, people are bitching about how long it was taking to complete a fight, and so they buff someone. And what ends up happening is the class gets completely unbalanced and it's totally fucked up. So I can trust their judgment with some things, but just the allowing it to stay this long is what is the questionable thing. Letting this thing stay on for too long is a problem, because again, all I'm doing right now is just questing. So when I get done with that, and when I fucking don't want to quest anymore and I just want to log off, that is what I'm going to be doing. And all I'm doing now is just gathering enough money so that way I can just keep buying consumables. So I have a decent portion of gold, but I mean, what am I doing it for? So anyways, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to make this video so that way you at least know what you're getting yourself into. If you like SOD or you hate it, or you have a comment that you would like to share, let me know what you think, because I still like it. It's just that it gets boring.